words come to mind: Steve and Patterson. So please welcome Steve Patterson.
So here's the thing, we were far too lazy to introduce our next guest, so we just called Steve Martin and said, Steve, would you please introduce Steve? So here is Steve Patterson.
Thank you.
And we'll all be owing Steve Martin a car now, basically,
well,
in royalties.
I hope he gets a break.
Yeah,
He needs, it's nice to give him a push, my buddy Steve.
We're going to send him a free banjo. So what was that from?
That was from the Just for Laughs Festival a couple years ago. I did a set, and Steve Martin was hosting, and it worked out.
He was quite threatened by you, from what I understand.
Yeah, I had a hot set, and he didn't know how to follow it on his banjo. No, it was awesome. It was the best set that I've had, like a short set to that point in my life, and yeah, it was a nice moment. Anytime you have, I'm glad you guys used that.
Now we have to explain what you've got here, seated next to you.
Oh, a pocket of goodness. We just recorded the Debaters in Calgary on Tuesday night, and the Mayor Nenshi, was there and presented me with this hat.
Now, is that a 10-galloner? Is that the real deal?
I don't know. I prefer.
Steve, you look like a real cowboy.
I prefer to measure it in metric. I don't know what it is in gallons, but it's heavy, and my ears can barely.
Wait a second. When the mayor presents you with a hat, is it like on stage and part of the presentation, or just like, hey, here's a hat after?
No, he came on with the whole thing. It was like getting screeched in Newfoundland or something.
Really?
You have to when you're not wearing the hat, you have to store it like this because it's half full of good wishes to the people from Calgary, and you fill it with the other half. And then when you are wearing it in Calgary, it's not ironic at all. But here, when I landed in Vancouver, I got some lovely offers for some gentlemen on Davie.
And people just assume you're oil wealthy too, right?
That's right.
Would you like a condominium?
Not here.
Visiting the West Coast?
They assume the village people.
That's right.
May I try it on?
Of course you can.
Now
See if it.
Are you allowed to try on another person's
I know.
hat?
I don't know.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Will I spill the good luck if I do this?
No. Oh, it looks great on you.
It's almost too small for me, which is really embarrassing.
Should we go around the horn? Should I have a look?
Look at that.
Yes.
Because we were talking about the pathetic size of my noggin.
Let me see.
Before we went on
go
air.
over yours? There it is. That's the look you're looking for. That's nice. Yeah.
I told you I had an especially small cranium.
Yeah, you did.
I'm doing the whole interview like this, so I can have a nap and no one will know.
Okay, Steve, you're in town doing some shows at the Comedy Mix. A while back when you were doing a show there, I went with a bunch of friends. Hilarious. And
for all the wrong reasons.
It was a great show.
The fire alarm went off the entire night.
It did. That's how hot the show was, Fiona. I set off the fire alarm and it kept going, and poor Rob, who runs the club, was trying to figure out how to get it turned off in the hotel, and
See, would you like me to make that happen again for you? Because it was really funny.
It'd be great. That's how I like doing my shows, is during an emergency evacuation situation.
I'm one of those naive people that actually expects people to react when a fire alarm goes off, like, vacate the building, and
no, you've got a full drink.
The show just went on.
I don't even know why you have a fire department here in Vancouver. It rains 97% of the time. Has there ever been a fire disaster in Vancouver?
And how long does it last?
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. But what I wanted to say is, this is sort of a thing now, like the mayors of cities where I perform give me stuff.
What's Gregor going to give you?
Exactly. I would, if you're watching, Mayor, and I assume that he is.
Your worship, you call him.
Oh,
yes.
Sorry.
He is a big fan of the show.
Your worshipness. If you're watching, I'm just saying, you don't want the mayor of Calgary to outdo you as a mayor, so I will gladly accept a bag of BC's
I was going to say maybe a bale of marijuana would be perfect.
Grow up, Michael. I meant a bag of lumber.
Grow up.
I meant grow up. I would like a grow up. I would like a little bag of BC lumber.
Gotcha.
Some hardwood chips.
Some trees.
Yeah.
So you're doing a show on St. Patty's Day. You have a little bit of Irish heritage.
Hard to believe it. In this man. I'm an Irish cowboy riding my pot of gold.
Now, when did you venture to Ireland last?
I was there just after our last interview. I think I went and played the Dublin. What's it called over there? The laugh something.
They're too drunk to remember.
It's funny how it's the same in every country.
It is. It's either the laugh or the comedy.
You go to Iraq and it would be called the Laugh Club.
Exactly. Just whatever the laugh is for
How did
Iraq.
you enjoy
if there is a
the homeland?
I love it over there. It's great, but I actually prefer Galway to Dublin. Dublin's just become very kind of touristy when you're over there, and I don't like to go out to an Irish bar in Ireland and be served by an Eastern European. I find that really takes away from it. I would prefer to go to an Irish pub.
You like beer?
Yeah, I prefer to be served by an Irish person in an Irish pub. Yeah.
So Galway's the place to do it?
Well, Galway is, or the countryside, it's all Irish people there, you know. They should at least know how to, you know, if you ask for a pint of Guinness, it shouldn't be like, Guinness? Yeah, I'm like, come on! You gotta know how to say Guinness. Sorry, people in the sound booth, that was probably pretty loud. I apologize.
Come on!
I'm getting belligerent in Irish.
What's going on with the debaters? You guys are constant. You sort of intersperse debaters work with your tour, because debaters is all over the place too. You tour with that.
Yeah, we were there at Calgary on Tuesday. We're going to Winnipeg soon. We toured all over. The radio version and the TV version that we do is taped here in Vancouver. We did them all here. We did a bunch of episodes, and we hope to be able to do more of those.
How many do you do in one day?
We do at least 6 debates, and sometimes 12 over the course of 2-day tapings. So
how does that feel, debating for that long? Because I mean, as funny as it is, it's still debating. There's a lot of intellectual effort put into this. So by the time you get to number 6 or 7, the well must be sort of.
Well, for me, it's a little tough to remember what they're debating at times.
Is this marijuana legalization or is this euthanasia? I can't remember.
Either way, I'm all for it. I sort of forget what we're debating at times, but we have great comedians that come on, and it's a great show to go to. It's like a little comedy festival or gala every time we do it. But it is a little bit weird for me to be on stage that long, and you just have to constantly be focused. It sounds ridiculous saying that.
I can't stop
Boy, your life
focusing.
must suck. Wait a second. You have to maintain focus
for almost 3 hours.
For an entire day.
That's amazing.
You have to
and
maintain
I can't take you seriously because of the cowboy hat right now.
Why? This is great.
Well, people
When
get
he was
into
just
comedy
a
because of
young
their ability, as you can see now, for their ability to focus. That's why people get into entertainment.
Well, that's why I love Twitter. It's for people with attention deficit, right? Yeah. Nothing needs to be longer than 140 characters anymore, and I love it.
On to the next.
Squirrel.
And my Twitter name is Patterballs, which throws people off at CBC.
And how did you get that name?
Fiona, well, it was a condition when I was younger, but I have since grown into them.
I didn't mean to bring it up. I know it's a sore spot.
It's actually an Irish Patterballs.
That's right.
Oh, he's got Patterballs.
Oh, he's got the Patterballs.
He's got the Patterballs.
Well, because conversations are little balls of patter, aren't they?
Oh, yes, they are.
I'm trying to. I'm
we
making
have
that up.
completed our Patterballs
I like
right
how
now.
you cup the Patterballs.
That's right.
The Patterballs.
I'd like to give you your conversation a little bit of a pat and the undercarriage.
Well, thank you, Patterballs. You can follow Patterballs on Twitter, or you can see him in Vancouver at the Comedy Mix. He's got shows starting
bad
today
for the back.
through till March 17th. This will help. For tickets or showtimes, you can go to the Comedy Mix website. And, of course, you can catch the debaters on CBC Radio 1 Saturday at 1 o'clock or Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. For more information, go to cbc.ca.
Wow,
Do you remember
you memorized all
I know.
that? That's incredible.
The Bugs Bunny and Tweety show, and they had that one guy that was like sort of Yosemite Sam's sidekick, and his clothes were too big and his hat was too big.
You're that guy. We just.
He grew up a little.
And you were accusing me of dating myself for talking about Blondie. What are you talking about? Was that when TVs were black and white?
Meep, meep.
Okay, we're going to take a break.